Review code provided by THQ Nordic through Evolve PR and Terminals.io. Thank you for supporting the channel. Until I played this game, All Elite Wrestling, or AEW for short, has always been something I've heard in passing but pretty much universally said is awesome. Now that I've immersed myself and got to know big stars like Kenny Omega, MJF, Darby Allin, and friends, the brand is now very much on my radar. You see, I've always been a big wrestling fan and even bigger fan of the PS2 era of games like Here Comes the Pain and SmackDown vs. Raw. And these games were always created by Ukes, who kept making these games all the way until they had enough of 2K and made their last WWE game in 2019. So when I found out they were making a wrestling game for AEW, and it wants to be like the PS2 era of games, I got excited. Overall, the game doesn't fully land the swanton bomb, so to speak, but despite this, I had a ton of fun with the game. And I even think the team went all in when it comes to the trophy run, which I think is a really good one. They didn't commit the sins that WWE 2K games continue to commit with every new entry, and instead made the Platinum Trophy evergreen. So let's strap up our boots so I can explain this point further and land some Canadian destroyers on some unsuspecting fools. Look how damn cool this move is. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we take a look at everything it takes to get the Platinum Trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. Alright, we are here with the full trophy guide, but if you want just an overview and general trophy breakdown of the game, I got that video on the channel already, check in the description, and of course subscribe for more trophy guide videos just like this one, because you might just find your next Platinum Trophy. This All Elite Platinum run is a good one, despite it having a few trophies that might set off some alarm bells at first glance. There are a few grindy trophies in the run, like playing the game's story mode called Road to Elite 10 times and 100 singles matches. Plus, we got some missable trophies found in the Road to Elite mode and a few difficulty dependent trophies. That all sounds intimidating, but trust me, I wouldn't be giving this plat a 3 out of 10 rating if it was truly a problem. This guide will give you all the info you need to handle these specific instances. Despite the game having online multiplayer modes, I'm happy to report that there are no online trophies in this Platinum run. None. That's great considering how many unobtainable WWE plats there are, so the longevity of this plat will remain and people can come back and grab this whenever they want now. That's all I've got to report, and we're ready to start. But note that I have more helpful guides in the description below to assist you if you get stuck. Okay, if you have not played a wrestling game in a very long time, here are some trophies to help you shake the ring rust off. Let's start with the first win trophy, in which all you have to do is defeat a calm opponent for the first time in an exhibition mode match. You can choose the match type you want, the calm difficulty, and the wrestlers you want in the match, and the trophy is yours if you win it. The bulk of the matches you will participate in are singles matches, and for the full course beatdown trophy, you need to win a singles match after hitting an opponent with your wrestler's signature move and then finisher move. You will need to use both of them at the end of the match, and for many wrestlers, they roll right into each other. Build your momentum meter till you get your signature and then hit it on your opponent. Then use your signature taunt to get your opponent into position and wham, slam them for your finisher and get the pin. Not every wrestler will work exactly this way, but guys like Kenny Omega, Darby Allin, and Sting will certainly work exactly like this. Next, let's get the All Shall Cower Before Me trophy by defeating a calm opponent by submission in exhibition mode. My boy, the Le Champion, has this covered, as you can hit the walls of Jericho and get the submission pretty easily, provided you already tenderized your opponent. Any submission move will work so long as you make them tap out. Now that you're starting to remember and become a seasoned wrestler like you were before, it's time to raise the stakes with the Belt Collector trophy. You need to use a current champion and hold a title match in exhibition mode and win a belt from another champion who is a calm opponent. If you go into a singles match and pit, let's say, the AEW champion versus the TNT champion, you just need to win the match and you get the trophy. You can mix up a bunch of championships versus each other with some restrictions. Like, you can't have the women's champion versus the AEW world champion because of the gender restrictions. You would have to have the women's champion versus the TBS champion. As long as you set it up properly, this trophy is easy to get. I mentioned before that this trophy run has 2 grindy trophies in it, and here is the first one. For the King of Hearts trophy, you will have to complete 100 singles matches in exhibition mode. Yep, that's a bit of a grind indeed, but thankfully it doesn't say they have to be done facing a calm opponent. So if you have a second controller, you can score quick pinfalls this way so you can have this done faster. I mean, the matches themselves are not long, but this trophy would have been better if it was singles matches across all game modes instead of isolating it here to exhibition mode. I absolutely recommend cycling through each wrestler while grinding out the 100 singles matches, because for the Equal Opportunity Player trophy, you'll need to play through a match with at least 50 AEW wrestlers. That means you controlling 50 different wrestlers, so this is a good time to do it. The base roster includes 47 wrestlers from the start, with 5 of them being unlockable. Lucky enough, Cody Rhodes and Aubrey Edwards can be purchased from the shop without having to do anything, so you will have to just make the money first and then purchase them. This will get you the eShopper trophy in the process, which you will get for making a purchase in the shop using AEW Cash for the first time. Now, you're going to need one more wrestler to make 50, and there's a few options. Paul White, formerly known as The Big Show, and Brody Lee, formerly known as Luke Harper of the Wyatt family, can be unlocked through Road to Elite mode, which we'll go into more depth later. But during my playthrough, I didn't unlock them because of how convoluted it is to get them. So instead, I unlocked the legendary Owen Hart as my 50th wrestler. All you have to do is win 100 singles matches in exhibition mode, which you're doing anyways for the Kingdom Hearts trophy. Oh, I get it now. Kingdom Hearts, got it. But once you do that, you'll unlock Owen Hart in the shop, and then you have to purchase him. Now, if you pre-order the game, you got Matt Hardy as the bonus, so he can be your 50th wrestler. You can also buy Matt Hardy in the PSN store if you need to. There is also a Seasons Pass full of 6 wrestlers being released in packs of 2 at a time, so you have options as to who can be your last 3 that you need to play as for this Equal Opportunity Player trophy. The best way to make AEW cash is by completing challenges in which there's also a trophy called No Feet Too Large for completing at least 30 of them. Now, a very important thing to note is that challenges come in 3 different forms. There are daily challenges that rotate out every day, weekly challenges that rotate out weekly, and then there are normal challenges that never leave or reset. For this trophy, you can use all 3 categories to your advantage, and you'll have to complete the criteria to beat those challenges. The normal ones tend to be more grindy with their criteria, so complete the daily ones to get this trophy unlocked faster. Plus, you will get paid with every challenge complete, which is not a bad thing. Get that bag. Prior to this game, I always heard AEW is famous for their creative gimmick matches, and there are some trophies related to a few of them that have been put in this game. It appears like there will be more of these added to the game post-launch, like the cool Stadium 30-man Battle Royale mode that's coming, so that's cool. But in-game, the first trophy we're going to cover is called Danger, Contents Under Pressure, and it's for attacking an opponent with a barbed wire bat in a lights out match in exhibition mode. A lights out match is like a hardcore match on steroids, and this barbed wire bat isn't just any barbed wire bat, it's electrified. So you will have to check under the ring until you find it, and then slap your opponent with it and burn some of their chest hairs off in the process. Then the next gimmick match is completely unique, and we will get the Kaboom trophy while fighting in it. You have to trigger 3 explosions in a exploding barbed wire death match in exhibition mode. Look at this barbaric and psychotic match type. If you Irish whip or knock your opponent into the barbed wire cladded ropes, you will trigger an explosion that will hurt them. If the match goes on long enough, the whole ring will just explode, damaging everyone. For the trophy, you will need to put your opponent in the blast radius 3 times. Have fun in this sadistic match. Now we have a good old ladder match that always leads to some high-flying antics. One of those electric moments that we always wait for is the subject of this trophy called Watch Your Footing, where you have to push over a ladder with an opponent on it to knock them down in a ladder match. Just wait until they're trying to go for the hanging prize and then sweep the ladder from under them and watch them come crashing down. And the last gimmick match trophy is called Ring Cleaner, and you will need to eliminate 10 opponents in a Casino Battle Royale against calm opponents. The Casino Battle Royale is like the Royal Rumble, except your entrance position in the match is determined by the card you draw before the match starts. Picking the Joker gets you the highest entrance in the match, but that won't help you for the trophy. It's better to draw a 2 or a 3 so that way you have lots of opponents coming down the ramp to throw out of the match. Then you will need to eliminate 10 people over the course of your time in the match, win or lose. Thankfully, there is no meter you have to whittle down in order to eliminate someone. So if you get someone in a compromising situation, like they're hanging off the ropes, you can just kick or punch them off and eliminate them. To get them to that point easier, you will need to whittle down your opponent's momentum meter, and using signature or finishers will drop it drastically. Then you can Irish whip them near the ropes and start dishing some smacks, pretty much guaranteeing the elimination if they just don't go plummeting by themselves anyways. Once you have 10 of them eliminated, you will get the trophy, but even on easy mode, it's pretty tough to do this, and you should stay away from the sides of the ring when you've taken a ton of damage to yourself. You don't want to get eliminated too early. Each wrestler has a combination of these things called skills that give you different offensive and defensive capabilities depending on which skills have been given to a certain wrestler. For example, high-flying minded wrestlers tend to have skills like guardrail dives, springboard moves, or tope attacks, while more technical wrestlers will have rebound attacks and kip-up skills. So each wrestler will have a combination of these 18 skills, and it's dependent on the way they wrestle and their personality. You can check to see what skills your wrestler has by going into the participants section of the pause menu, pressing square, and tabbing over to the action skills tab. It will tell you everything you need to know about your current wrestler. There are 10 trophies associated with these skills where you need to use that skill in a certain way and a certain number of times. Let's start off with the Off the Guardrail trophy, and you will get the idea easier. For this trophy, you will have to use the guardrail dive offensive skill 3 times in a single match by hopping onto the guardrail and launching yourself at the opponent. Always a good option as long as you don't miss. You won't be able to do this if your wrestler doesn't have the guardrail dive offensive skill, so check first. I used Adam Cole to do this, but lots of other wrestlers can do this naturally. Same for the Adept Flyer trophy for landing 5 springboard attacks in a single match. you need the springboard offense skill, and you can either springboard near the rope or over the rope from the edge of the ring apron. You press a combination of either X and square or triangle and circle to use the attacks. Your opponent can either be standing or lying down for this. Wrestling fans are no strangers to these moves, but I'm just being thorough. Adam Cole again got the job done, but you can have guys like Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and more to choose from. Even more death-defying and extreme is the Fearless Rocket Trophy for using the Taupe offensive skill to land 2 Taupe Suicida attacks in a match. Now what you're going to do is throw your opponent outside of the ring and then run to the ropes and dive at them with reckless abandon. You still press the combos of X and square or triangle and circle, but you have to press it just before you touch the ropes. Now you are high flying like Adam Cole. High flying moves are effective, but they have to watch out for wrestlers with the anti-air defense skill. And you get the trophy Nice Catch if you use this skill and catch a dive. Just press the X button at the right time to catch a fool in midair and get the trophy. I used Abaddon, but plenty of the bigger hulking wrestlers like Paul White have this skill. This one took a lot more effort, but now there's the Smooth Footwork Trophy using the Kip Up skill 5 times. I used Hangman Adam Page for this, but a Kip Up is like that thing that Shawn Michaels does where he quickly flips up, recovering from the ground. You can do this in 2 different ways. As soon as you hit the ground, press R1 at the moment and you will kip up if you got the timing right. The other way to do this is have your momentum meter in either signature or finisher mode, and then all you have to do while on the ground is press circle and you will kip up. So use either method to perform 5 kip ups and get the trophy. Some charismatic wise men said, "I lie, I cheat, I steal." And that's what we're doing for these next 2 skill trophies. First, we have the Dexterous Dervish Trophy for activating the Desperation Impulse skill and winning the match with a roll-up pin. You can only activate this skill once per match by pressing R3, and this will blindside your opponent with a roll-up pin in a pinch, and if you land the 3 count, you win the match and the trophy. I use Andrade, but plenty of wrestlers, especially the heels, have this skill. Same situation with the Finisher Thief Trophy for utilizing the Gimmick Infringement skill and winning a match using your opponent's finisher. Lots of wrestlers have this, like Adam Page, and when you build up your special meter, press the R3 button instead of the usual way you use finishers, and you'll use your opponent's finisher on them, then just finish the match with the win. These next 2 trophies on screen go together and they are performing 2 rope rebound attacks and 2 corner rebound attacks. When your opponent Irish whips you into the corner or to the rope, press the square button right as you hit the corner or the rope to bounce back into a counter attack. The opponent will have to be close enough, but when you land the shot, it will count towards the trophy, which you need 1 more of each. Get 2 of each type to pop their individual trophies. I used CM Punk for the rope rebounds and the unlockable Aubrey Edwards for the corner rebounds. This last skill trophy is exclusive to the wrestler Orange Cassidy, and it's called Who Needs Hands? Using the Sloth Style skill, which you activate by pressing the R3 button, you will need to land a pin with your hands in your pocket. This is a gimmick that Cassidy does on the show where he keeps his hands in his pocket, and it's pretty funny. But the trophy is simple enough. Land the 1, 2, 3 with sloth mode initiated and get the trophy. So every other trophy in this game can be earned on any difficulty you like, except for these next 2 trophies we're going to cover. And even then, I didn't find them that particularly difficult. The first one is called 4-Way Dominator, and you will have to win a 4-way match against calm opponents set to hard difficulty or higher in exhibition mode. The jump up in difficulty will have the calm wrestlers counter more of your moves and use more of their own. In this case, you can set it to hard mode instead of elite difficulty, and it's best to let the opponents knock each other around a bit. Then you can swoop in and knock them all out and score a pin on one of them. But for the Beat the Best trophy, it's just you and a calm opponent on elite difficulty in a singles match in exhibition mode. Definitely the jump in difficulty is going to be a bit jarring at first, and you will have to learn how to effectively counter attacks. Matches don't last all that long in this game, so even if you lose, just try again. What you can do is set the calm opponents to a weaker wrestler and you use a stronger wrestler. Stack the match in your favor and then score the pinfall or submission to collect the victory. This trophy sounds intimidating at first, but it's actually not that bad. Before we get to the meaty parts of the trophy run, let's look at 3 trophies where you can make your own custom creations come to life. Now, it's unfortunate that the custom wrestler feature isn't as deep as it is in 2K, WWE games, and the CAW community has clearly let them know about that. But it got the job done, bringing Josh Rockstark to All Elite Wrestling and also getting the Making Their Debut trophy for creating a custom wrestler and completing a singles match using them. Josh Rockstark made his mark on the company, and you can too after you finish your first singles match with your new custom wrestler. Then take that new created wrestler and put them in a tag team. To get the Promising Team trophy, you will need to create a custom team with a custom wrestler on it, then complete a tag match using them. I partnered Josh Rockstark with Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and the Canadian Destroyers dominated in their very first match together. Last creation you need to make is a custom arena. For the Arena Architect trophy, you will need to create a custom arena and simply complete a match using it. There are some great ways to trick out the arena. Again, not as deep as WWE 2K, I know, but it's serviceable. There are even more things to unlock in the shop to help your creations come to life, and you can make them even better. With all those trophies done, we have arrived at the main event of the show. You will need to be ready and in peak performance for this next part of the guide. But if you've stuck around this long, be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the show so far. You are about to be all elite when you get this last handful of trophies. So this trophy was mysterious when we talked about it last in the other video, but now the community has it all figured out. The trophy is called Match of the Year, and you get it after you earn a 7-star evaluation against a calm opponent. Now, the trophy says it has to be in exhibition mode in the description, but I certainly didn't get it there. The trophy popped after I won the Casino Battle Royale match at the beginning of Road to Elite mode. Let me tell you that even on easy, this is not an easy feat because you are locked into starting first no matter what card you choose, but it helped me here because I got the trophy. But the grand question is how? At the end of the match, you are evaluated based on your overall HP left, your move variation count, and the time spent in the match. From what I've deduced, the crowd wants one hell of a match that's drawn out in time, maybe a gimmick match, and this is the best combination for gaining more stars. Like if you do a lights out match that goes on for 20 minutes and uses many of the weapons like the thumbtacks and barbed wire bats, you will get a really great star rating, if not a 7-star prize. So going back to that Casino Battle Royale match I mentioned earlier, the conditions were perfect. I went from the first spot to winning the whole thing, so the match went on a long time. I ended up using lots of different moves in my arsenal, and my HP was 0, which doesn't actually hinder your score, but heightens it. That's the secret sauce for this trophy. Have the match go on for a long time, keep using as much variation in your arsenal of moves, and extend that to weapons too, and put on a slobber knocker of a fight where everyone is half dead. That will put you in the right position to get this trophy. So now that we've introduced our first match in the Road to Elite mode, let's finish the rest of it and cover all the trophies found in this mode. You'll get the On the Road to Elite trophy after you complete one play of the Road to Elite story mode. The mode is pretty neat the first time you play it through, and it doesn't take too long to complete considering it's only 17 weeks long. You always start off with the Casino Battle Royale, and then from there you'll go through 4 different story blocks leading to 4 different pay-per-view events. Their storylines in each block will be different depending on whether you win or lose matches, or even dependent on the wrestler you're using. You even get the chance to win championships, which is cool. Gotta get those belts, baby. Unfortunately, I think the mode wears out its welcome a bit as you play on, and for the Live in the Wrestler's Life trophy, you have to complete Road to Elite 10 times. I played it the first time with Sting, then I did it with my created wrestler, then I played it a few times with a few other wrestlers to get some of the trophies we're gonna cover next, but after about 5 plays, I started just quitting out of the matches to get through the playthroughs faster. You can do that, by the way. Just start a week's event and quit the match. This will greatly speed up each playthrough so you can finish the 10 plays you need. If there was more variation in the content instead of the 4 variations in each block, maybe I would have considered doing them legit. Heck, when I decided to play as a female wrestler, block 1 was different, and then I started wrestling male wrestlers for blocks 2, 3, and 4, playing storylines I'd already done before. I know this game had a budget, but come on. Hopefully they add more storylines post-launch, but focus on your 10 playthroughs to get the trophy, and use that trick I mentioned if you're starting to get bored. But during those 10 playthroughs, you'll need to focus on getting these 5 missable trophies. These are all trophies you need to collect before the end of a single Road to Elite playthrough, and you might find it easier just to focus on 1 or 2 of them in a single play of the mode. Let's start with the Welcome to the Elite trophy, where you'll need to win the AEW World Championship while playing Road to Elite. That's the most prestigious one of them all, and there are 2 potential spots where you can win it. If you're doing well and winning all your matches, you will have the chance to win it in Block 4 at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. The other way you can collect it is by winning the Casino Battle Royale at the beginning of your Road to Elite playthrough, and then you are guaranteed a AEW title shot in Block 1, instead where you can win it early. Either way works when it comes to getting the title and the trophy, but if you want this next trophy, I recommend saving it for Block 4. Now for the Triple Crown trophy, you will need to hold 3 titles at the same time in a single Road to Elite run. We are about to pull some Kenny Omega shit right now and decorate ourselves in gold. The reason you want to save the AEW Championship for Block 4 is that if you lose the Casino Battle Royale, you're going to be in the Unlikely Partnership storyline instead, and that has the AEW Tag Team titles up for grabs. That means you just need to grab 1 or more title for the trophy in either Block 2 or Block 3. In Block 2, you can play the Dark Order storyline so you can win the TNT Championship, but for some reason I never got that storyline to pop up for me. Pisses me off too because I would have unlocked Brody Lee in the process. So instead, I got the FTW Championship in the Breaking Point storyline in Block 3, where you face Darby Allin and Brian Cage in a ladder match. That gets you the 3 you need for the trophy. You can also do this using a female wrestler as well, collecting the Women's Championship, TBS Championship, and another title like the FTW or AEW Championships. Either way, you need gold to pop this trophy, and once you are decorated in titles, glory will be yours. This next missable trophy might be one where you want to isolate for a separate playthrough. In order to get the Food Critic Trophy, you must dine 16 times during a single playthrough of Road to Elite. This is when you try out the local cuisine and recover 60 points of energy. You might get this naturally, but that means you need to use it at least once per week. Still, it's hard to miss this one, especially when you focus on this next trophy. Now, you're going to have to lift, bro, focusing on the Train to the Max trophy. Now, you have to perform 30 or more successful, intense trainings during one playthrough of Road to Elite. This is one of the more tricky trophies in the run, especially if you don't understand the sim elements of this mode. In the weeks before events, you can lift weights to make yourself stronger and collect points towards your career score. There are 3 options, but for this trophy, you will need to do the intense training, which gives you the most points, but puts you at risk of injuring yourself if your energy meter is too low. So you can already see how the sim elements factor in and where things can go wrong. You have about 64 chances to pump some iron, 16 weeks times 4 days per week before the event. But you should start every week by dining so you can recover your energy gauge close to full, so really it's more like 48 chances to do some lifting. This is still a big buffer, but you're not going to be able to realistically lift 3 times a week because every time you intense lift, you lose 39 energy off your bar. And when you intense lift less than 80 points of health, you run the risk of getting injured, and then you're not lifting anything, bruh. So, you need to keep your energy up by any means possible, either by eating food or purchasing energy boosters in the store for 2,500 currency. In the beginning, your typical week will start by dining, then hitting the gym, then boosting your energy up, then hitting the gym again. If you have a spare day left, either fight in an AEW Rampage match to collect money or go sightseeing to keep your momentum up. It's important to keep your momentum up for max gains, bray. Max gains! This goes without saying, but I'll say it. Make sure you're winning all your matches so your morale doesn't drop, and you have to waste weeks trying to boost it back up. Once you get to Block 3, and especially Block 4, the payouts for each match are much higher, allowing you to buy more energy boosters, and that's when you can slip in a 3rd workout per week. Doing this, I got the trophy in week 3 of Block 4 and had 6 more chances to work out remaining. So this trophy is completely doable, albeit a little bit nerve-wracking. Follow these steps and you should be swole as hell and have the trophy in your hands by the end of your Road to Elite play. And now, the granddaddy of all the missable trophies in this mode, it's called Hall of Famer. This trophy is earned by getting a career grade of A+ at the end of a single playthrough of Road to Elite. This means by the end of the 4 blocks, you will need to accumulate at least 115,000 points. In Road to Elite, most things will give you points like matches, mini-games, and working out, so you are going to want to keep busy across these 16 weeks. Using the method we used for 30 intense training sessions will get you a ton of points and get you pretty close to the mark. But not quite, so you will need to know a few extra things that you'll want to consider for this trophy. For one, difficulty affects the amount of points you will get for matches, so playing on Elite difficulty will get you the most points per match. But that means you have to play on Elite difficulty. So, personally, I opted to play on normal instead and switched to Elite difficulty for the last couple of weeks of Block 4 where the point yields are mega high. Again, you need to win every match because when you win, you get the point yields for the match and a win bonus, which is almost like doubling the amount of points you'd normally get. Plus, your momentum needs to be the highest rating all the time because if you do anything with low morale, you get fewer points for your activities. So between winning matches and successful, intense training, you will make up a ton of points. I also recommend doing the AEW Rampage bonus matches when they pop up because they actually give you a really good amount of points. AEW Dark, not so much, so I skipped those, but I definitely did the Rampage ones. Plus, I didn't bother with the mini games at all because these arseholes cheat, and if you lose, you get nothing. That's a wasted week. I don't care. I'm not doing it. So in the end, there are many strategies for getting this trophy. Plus, you can switch the difficulty on the fly so you can increase or decrease it depending on the match you're about to do. Also, with other activities supplying more points, that point threshold can be achieved if you're careful and understand the systems in the mode. As well, there are boosters you can purchase to help you in various ways, especially your energy. I ended up using Kenny Omega for this run and got 118,403 points on normal mode, changing to elite mode for the last handful of matches. So follow my lead and you will go far, kid. That takes care of the 5 nerve-wracking missable trophies in this mode, and now we just have 3 more trophies left to cover in the whole guide. Let's retire in style. Next, we have the Shirt Collector Trophy, where you have to collect all the t-shirts that can be earned in Road to Elite. You will earn a bunch of them automatically on your first day of Road to Elite, but when you visit all 16 locations in the playthrough, you will have 1 t-shirt that you're able to purchase in the shop local to that area. The good thing is that you don't need to purchase them all across one playthrough, and you have the opportunity to purchase them when you fly to the city next time you do another playthrough. So essentially you just need to purchase all 16 at some point during all your playthroughs. You have to do 10 of them, so there's your opportunities there, and then the trophy will pop when you collect the last one. I briefly mentioned the mini games before in a poo-poo kind of way, but they're actually really fun, and for the casual gamer trophy, you have to win a mini game within Road to Elite. These mini games can be played at any time during your time off in the week, and they reward you pretty well if you win them. They kind of remind me of Mario Party mini games, and honestly, they're pretty entertaining. You have to win 1 for this trophy. And then finally, our last trophy of the guide, for the Professional Gamer Trophy, you have to finish a round of 5 different minigames. This trophy doesn't have to be done in Road to Elite, as you can access the minigames in the main menu as well. You just need to play 5 different minigames, and you can do it while you're trying to get the Casual Gamer Trophy or just in the main menu here. That will be enough to get you the trophy. With that being said, we have now fully gone all elite and not only collected wrestling gold, but also platinum. So if you've played over 100 singles matches, charted the course of 10 careers in Road to Elite, watched the elite cheat in a bunch of minigames, screw you arseholes, dropped a ton of Canadian destroyers because that's the best finisher of all time, don't at me bro, and collected all the trophies, congratulations. You will be awarded the All Trophies Earned Platinum Trophy for AEW Fight Forever. The Platinum name could have been called All Elite. It's right there. Reach for it. Grab it. All Elite, that could have been the name. Yuke's plan for this game is to add content and support it over time, so there sounds like a good chance of DLC and add-on trophy sets. At the time of recording, the Stadium Stampede Battle Royale mode is out now, but no new trophies have been added for it. So check in the description below for updates if any new trophies ever get added, and I'll make New Game Plus videos for them if it is substantial content we need to cover. Overall, I had a blast with this game's trophy run. I know the game feels budget in a lot of places, but that somehow didn't stop me from getting the plat. I really got a lot out of this run as I familiarized myself with AEW wrestling, including its top talent, gimmick matches, and past storylines that made the brand so iconic. Plus, for me, the Uke spirit is still there, and it's a trophy run that generations of people can still get because there's no online trophies to speak of. Sure, it had some grindy trophies that could be a little boring, but it makes up for it in other parts of the trophy run, like for example, only having 2, maybe 3 trophies where you have to play on harder difficulties. Even with the game's shortcomings, I'm just incredibly satisfied with the 25 or so hours I put into getting this plat, and that's all you can ask for these days. There is a lot more content coming for AEW Fight Forever, and who knows if it will have trophies or not, but regardless, I'll definitely be checking out this Stadium Stampede mode because it looks like chaotic fun. But if this is the last video we get to make on AEW, it's been a pleasure going all elite and really enjoying a wrestling game once again. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is All Elite Wrestling Fight Forever. That's the trophy guide. It's a long one, I know, but it will help you get it. And I like the fact that this is not one of those platinums where it will be lost and unobtainable because of online trophies. Seriously, just go and look and see how many SmackDown vs. Raw plats are gone. You will just completely be beside yourself. This is one of the ones that will never be gone, and you can get it and enjoy it whenever you want. So let me know down in the comment section if you're an AEW fan, if you want to get this plat, or even if this is your first time enjoying a Ukes wrestling game. Any and all thoughts, drop them in the comment section. I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions are all elite, and peace out, you jabroni.